Hey everybody, it's Valerie Wallace Fine Arts. I'm live on Facebook today at 1 o'clock like every day to do a little drawing lesson with you here in Orono, Maine. And I've got my daughter Daphne with me behind the camera. Woo woo! Oh yeah, give me a little twerk in there. Okay, today we're going to do a person and a dog, and we call this in the art world a figure. I don't know what they call it. I haven't decided whether you call an animal a figure or not.
A canine figure.
Yeah. Okay, so, and everybody, people want to be able to draw people, but they get nervous and they think it's hard, and it's not. And the number one thing, I'm not going to do a lot of talking, but the number one thing is that the head is small. So just keep that in the back of your mind when you're working, that we're going to get that head way up near the top of the paper so you have plenty of room for the body, even if you accidentally make it bigger than you want. Well, actually, we're going to start with the head anyway, but we're going to get the body up here, okay? Because there's a background in here, I don't want to draw in black my people and then try to color a background around that, okay? And I know everybody wants to jump right in and do the fun parts first, but you want to consider your background first, okay? So I am going to consider it, and I'm going to put a little bit of, I get the feeling this is a little unpleasant weather here, so I'm going to take a little gray. I'm not going to go heavy. So this is great when you can peel it off and put a little. I've got the oil pastels here today. These are just these Pentel pastels, are super cheap. So I'll put a little gray on there. A little, about maybe a third of the way up, 2/3 of the way down, however way you want to look at it. Maybe a little bit of gray blue up here. Okay, if you're drawing with pencil, then obviously you probably don't need to do this. But if you're thinking about color, then you probably want to. This has a little bit of a, ochre thing going on in the bottom. But it's way easier to put something on here, even if you embellish it later on. It'll give you a groundwork to go with. Maybe a little. Oh, this is not going in there. I wish I had a white that would, oh, maybe I'll do this. This peachy color will take the blue and kind of gray it up. That'll be neat, and I'll put it down here. Alright, super good. Okay, so let's get doing it. I want, where's my black? This is brown. I had it before. Here, I get it. Sorry about that. Okay. So I've got my black pastel. We're going to start with the guy. And of course, if you want to make a girl or, whatever, or a kid or whatever. The thing about a kid is that the proportions are going to be different. The arms are going to be a little bit shorter and the legs are going to be a little bit shorter in comparison to the size of the body. But, we're going to go with this. So, don't think about the head. We're actually going to start with the torso, okay? And it's pretty much a rectangle. He's leaning a little bit, so it's a little bit different than if we just stood that rectangle right up straight up and down. We're going to start with a line that's right here. So it's going to be a short one, and like I said, I want you to get it up high, and I want you to get it on the right half of your picture, okay? And so you're just going to put a little line, leave a little room up there, put a line like this, okay? It doesn't matter about how tall it is, because we can adjust the ground if we have to, okay? The next thing you're going to do is that the front of his body is basically straight down, but it curves a little bit. So you can either drop a line straight down, or you can have it curve just a tiny bit, so it'll be kind of like this, and bring that down pretty long, okay? I'm not sure what I can say about, you're just going to have to start somewhere. The thing is the legs in this case are long, my leg from here to the floor is longer than it is from here to my shoulder. So, but he could have a kind of a long coat on too, but you have to think about it a little bit. Okay, so we'll draw this line. Then what I want you to do, see this line right here? It has a little slant to it. And and it tips up a little bit because he's leaning forward. That brings it back up. And that is a little bit longer. This line is a little longer than the one at the neck. So you're going to make that a little bit longer, okay? Because his back is curving, and this will help you to, hopefully this spot is a little to the right of the neck, so that when you come down, you're going to kind of bring this out like that. So far, so good?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not hard. If you have a rectangle there, that's great too. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the arm on. And the thing I want you to notice is that your shoulder is like right next to your head and your neck. Okay? It's not coming out of his body down here. Because what in the world would this be? What would this be if you're like, I mean, what? An incredibly long neck? Or just some freaky part of the body that doesn't exist? Okay? It has to be up here. And the upper part of the arm is basically a skinny U shape, upside down U. Okay, or a skinny bell or whatever. So I want you to get that bell. And this is, if you have it going right, like imagine my finger, and if it goes like this, it's just going to mean that his arm is pulled out like this. He's got to bend to it. But you could do it just one long piece. And he's also got a coat on, so don't make skinny, skinny little arms. This is great kind of figure to draw because it's black and there's clothes on that are bulky because then you can kind of make things bigger. All right, so you're going to make an upside down U shape right up there next to that neck, okay? I have mine kind of halfway crossing over the front of the coat, okay? Then he has this other part that comes out. This should be pretty long. Don't make it too short. It should be half the size of the body that you're making. Okay? Right?
Right.
All right. Then you're going to draw two lines that go out like this. And again, they don't have to be skinny. He's got a coat on. All right? He's not wearing a skin-tight turtleneck like I might wear. Okay? And the length of this is the same as the length of this. There's no foreshortening here, so they're just the same. And make him have long arms. I mean, look at how long my arms are. Can you see? Does it show?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you can
see how long they are? They go way down here. If you have little short arms like this, it looks like you're kangaroo. Okay?
Alrighty.
All right, now this other one, the same thing. Your sleeve, you know, if he has a coat that goes to his waist, your sleeve is longer than that. So when you do this arm, it needs to come down, you know, maybe his coat's slightly longer, but it needs to come down pretty much as long as this coat. Okay? And the same thing is it's going to start right up here at the top. Okay? So start with one line, because part of it is going to be like a smaller piece because it's coming there. So you're going to bring that down along like that. Does that look right, Daphne?
Yep.
Okay, and then the other one is here, like this. So you just make kind of a thicker one underneath. I can't tell this. So this,
Yeah,
you know, should measure and be the same size as his body. And this is here, here, same deal. Okay? Does it look like that?
Yeah, it looks
Okay.
good.
All right. We're going to do, we're going to color it in later. Or should we color it in? We'll color it in later. Okay, while we're on it. We're all concentrating. We're thinking we just had lunch. We're going to, like, draw the person. Okay. I'm going to have you draw the leg that's in the front. If you made a straight line, it would just mean that his leg was straight, right? If you just went from here at the waist and you just made a line that went, you know, two lines that went down, a long skinny rectangle, just went like that, it just would mean his leg was straight. He's got a little bit of a bend in it, okay? The thing you got to realize is that, you know, his leg is coming from a part of his body that connects to his back. So, you know, if this is the spine here, then that's kind of where his leg is coming from, the back of his coat. So we're going to bring that down like that. This might be a little smaller, so I'm going to make my coat just kind of flared out a little bit. So I'm going to bring my part of my leg like this. Okay? He's got skinny legs. Whatever room I have down here, you know, I need his leg. I'm going to aim for probably about right here. It needs to be bigger than his body. Okay? So it goes out like this, and then the front of it basically is dropping straight down, right? And then this is kind of like that. Want flared pants? that line back. I like some flared pants. Okay? And your thigh, no matter who you are, is bigger than your shin. Okay? So, you know, I look at this and be like, okay, well maybe I'll add a little here, add a little bit more on his here. I want to be a little bit more a little narrower down here. Okay. The other leg, again, is not only, you know, attached back here, but it's also attached, you know, to the front of him. So it's not just like way out, you know, it doesn't come out here. It's coming from the front where the other leg is too. So we'll do we'll just say it's a straight line. So he's going to come from right here in the back of his butt, just like the other line. Okay, and this would have to be, oh actually we've got a little, oh well that's alright. We'll do it like that. And then we're going to start in the front here, we'll go over this thigh, and we're just going to bring a line. It might get a little narrower as it gets down to the bottom. And these are, if there's a little bend in this leg, then this leg is actually going to look a little longer, but it's a little farther away, so they'll come out about the same. Does that look right, Daphne?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Shoes. The bottom of your shoe is always flat. Even if there's a high heel there, the heel and the toe, they line up on a straight line. So on this foot right here, what happens is the back of it is just like a right angle. So it comes like this and it goes straight out like that. I can't take my shoe off right now because I got boots on. But your boot is as big as, your shoe, I can't do it with yours either. What do you have on your shoes?
I don't have them.
Oh. Well, your foot is huge, okay? If you didn't have a big, long foot, then you would fall over all the time. We already talked about this.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. So, long foot, like this, it's like this, it's at a right angle, and then the front of it, in his case, he has kind of a boot, so it kind of rounds up like that. Alright? Does that look like a shoe? Yes. Okay, the other one, what's happening is he's got a little bend to his foot. We can do that, though. So you're going to put a line that goes like this, and then it goes this way, and so it bends. It's kind of like that. Actually, that didn't come out very good. Okay. And here's the pants. Okay? Alright, let's do this. Let's do his hands. So, if you're holding a leash like this, what happens is this part of your hand is down a little bit, and then the thumb is a little bit on the top. So if you can kind of make kind of a little box that kind of goes down with a little blob on the top, it'll be a little bit like a hand that, he's got gloves on. This is great, because you don't have to like deal with, fingers or skin or anything like that. But, okay? The other one, if your hand is going like behind you like this, then your fingers are all like kind of one big piece, but your thumb hangs down. And if you did it like this, he'd be running like this, which is a little bit weirder than him running like this. I don't know why. This is more frolicking, like oh my goodness.
Okay.
My dog is pulling me, and then this is different. So when we do it, you make that kind of loop for the hands, and then you make a little piece that comes down. It looks like a mitten. Okay? Where you put the thumb makes a difference. Okay. I'm going to put a scarf on here. You don't have to put the scarf on here, but it kind of goes with the rest of the face. He's got just a little skinny scarf. Okay? So you don't need to make it super thick, because unless you're going to cover over this lower part. But just put a little line in here with a little piece that goes out, maybe a little piece that goes down. Okay? Because otherwise, he's going to have a really long neck. Which is okay. Okay? And then what I want to do, I need something like, do you have a, I guess I didn't get it. What? Well, a reddish brown, like a little one. Alright, well I didn't get it. But, so I'm going to use a brown. And what's happening is that if you bring a scarf that kind of covers your mouth, you don't want to necessarily cover your nose, but you want to have it like this. That his nose, we're going to have his nose come right out of it. And then the rest of his head, remember that part of it's under his hat, so it's just a little piece of it. And what we're going to do is, I'm going to make a line like a box, kind of like this. Oh, I didn't even remember to do it down here.
No, you didn't. I guess, well, that's okay. No charcoal
I guess
today.
it doesn't really matter.
People get
It's drawing is drawing, yeah, it's the same thing. Okay.
Hopefully nobody was waiting.
Yeah. For me to do again. I could go over while you're coloring it in. I could just draw the steps again, just so you can follow. And then what's happening? What we're gonna do is we're just gonna make it come out a little bit and go back, and it's gonna look a little bit like his nose. It looks very strange right now. And I'm gonna color that in. Hopefully, if you color your sky too. Okay, and he's got this. Did you call this a pork pie hat?
To me it looks like a baseball hat. But
Well, I think it's supposed to be that flat kind. So it looks really funny right now. So then what happens is this. Is you're gonna have a line like that, and if you want it to be a baseball hat, then go up bigger, the whole size of his head. But if you want to do that English professor kind of hat, it comes around like this, and then it goes down like that. Okay, and if he has hair, the thing I want you to realize that is the hair. You can even see it on me that it's only a little bit of my face, so his hair is going to really be on his face like that. Okay, that's a little bit weird. Oop, I think they're a little black. That's why. Okay. So I might need a little more scarf. Right here. Alright, so that's going to go right out like that. Maybe have his add a little on here. Okay, so you can go ahead and color the figure in. And I will do a quick drawing of the steps again. Okay? Right now, right in a second. Before we do the dog. How's that sound?
sounds good.
Is it?
I guess.
If you want different colors, like I might even put a little blue on here. You do want, there's a couple of lines that you kind of want to reinforce, and one of them is this part of his back. Like we want his back to cut off the arm, not bloody cut off, but go over it. And then right here, you want this upper arm to be in front. I don't know if you can see it, but you could even maybe take a lighter one, like a lighter blue, and if I bring that here, that kind of accents that part of the arm. Okay? Same thing with this part of his thigh. We want this leg to look like it's in front. So I want to go over that upper part there. Alright, so I will do it with the charcoal right down here, and then we'll do the dog. We'll be good. Okay? So what I did to start with, I started up here, and I made a little short line that slants a little bit. And then I brought that down with a little bit of a curve. And I made a longer line. Okay? And then I'm connecting from here to here, so it's kind of looks like a bending piece of gum or something. Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. I did the first arm, so I know it's going to go down about halfway down the body. I want to start it right up here, right at where the neck is. I'm going to have an upside down U that goes like this. And then I want nice long arms. Nobody wants short arms. I mean, sometimes it happens. Genetics, right?
Yeah.
You don't stunt your growth by drinking coffee when you're a kid and get short arms, right?
Well,
Have you ever heard
Yeah. Caffeine sensitive.
Yeah. But that's not going to happen. You didn't know. It wasn't your fault you had short arms. But, you know, most of the time you don't want them. Then you can't reach the stuff on the tall shelves.
Well, maybe you're just short and you can't reach the stuff on the top shelf.
Yeah, even if you're short, you get short arms too. But we're talking about in proportion to your body.
Yeah,
all right?
Don't come at the short people.
You know, and if you measure this arm, it should be the same size as this one, if not, maybe it's a smidge longer, the one that's bent, just because it's on the front. Okay? And then with the legs, I want to bring from the back, I've got to have my butt connected to my, it's got my tailbone in it, which is connected to my spine, so I have to have these things all together. Okay, so bring that leg out a little bit. And then I'm going to bring it down. Oh, it's hard to draw on this thing. Okay? But, the body can go in all sorts. And so then, here's his stomach is connected to the front part of his leg here, kind of. So that's where that one's going to come out. Let's see if I can bend this one this time. Move this way a little bit, and then we'll bring it out. You can, there's no right or wrong way. You're just looking to see that the proportions come out right. Okay. And if I slant half of the foot and then flatten half the foot and bring it up, that'll look a little bit like he's walking. Okay. What do you call that when you take a step and your foot flexes?
Oh, I don't know. I was gonna say your gait, but that's not that.
That's a good word though. Okay. If the legs look too skinny, then and the great thing about doing it with a dark color is that you can just add on, right? If something is enormous, then what you have to do is look at all the other parts and see if you can make them a little bit bigger to kind of match up. Okay? It's pretty easy to make the coat a little longer if you needed to. If you have a bigger, if you haven't gone to the bottom of your page, you can always make the legs a little longer. You can take the feet and kind of blend them into the ground, so something like that. Oh, I didn't do the head. Alright, so I got a little scarf. Goes out there. And then what I did was, oops, I want that flat, is I made his nose. He's got a big nose, like that. Okay, so it looks kind of like a rectangle, but one of the sides is got a slant to it. Okay, and I take that. Remember, the hat should probably be just a smidge bigger than his head. And I go up and around, not very high, and I bring that out and add that hat. I think it's called a pork pie. Well, maybe, no, it probably isn't called a pork pie. Yeah, that's why it's something different. Okay, the ear's here. The hair goes to the ear. He's got long hair. Okay, and if you have an eye, if you think you want to show it, it's touching the front of the face is the eyebrow. And then you might have a little bit of a line right underneath there, but that's pretty much it. Okay? Alright, let's do it. Ready to do the dog? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, dogs, any kind of dog, looks kind of like my dog. Pretty small and short-haired. If you wanted to have longer hair, what happens when you color it in, color brush strokes that go down or got down and back, and and make it more of a rectangle. Don't show this shape. You'd be surprised unless your dog's fat, if you shaved it off, it would. I guess they don't all have such a barrel chest, but mine definitely has big chest and narrow waist, and so they're kind of like a triangle. So we're gonna do that. It's gonna come right here. I guess you can connect to his neck with the leash any way you want, so it doesn't really matter where you put him. Give him a little room for his feet, though. Okay? So, and don't get too close to the edge. So start back here a little bit just to be on the safe side. And what you're going to do is you're going to make a line like this. However big you want your dog. If you want your dog like a Great Dane, make it a little bigger line and also give it plenty of room for long legs. Okay? Alright. Then what you do is you bring down the front a little bit like this, and then bring it up like this, like a triangle. Okay? It's going to be a little extreme. My dog's not that skinny in the back, but it's kind of skinny. Okay? I'll color this in while you do that part. I'll do it like this, and then I'll do it again. Okay? That's good, I think. Okay. Just like all the other animals, you know, from dragons to horses to, I don't know what else we've done, but, you know, your thigh here is a bigger piece, and then the lower the lower part of the leg is skinnier. So we're gonna take this. Don't do it too much of an angle. I did that; it didn't look right. But I'm gonna come down from here, and I'm gonna bring the line down for his leg like this. I'm doing this leg right here. Okay. And then what I'm gonna do is he has, you know, it's kind of a triangle right here. Okay? Like that. And I'll add on. Okay? So here, if your dog is fatter, you just go from the chest kind of straight across, and it will be more boxy. Or even if it's a lab or something, go straight across here, and it will, and you can kind of fluff the hair or whatever, but that will make it look more like a lab. Okay? We're going to do this leg right here that's in the front. So you can come from this chest, just go a little bit to the front, like that. Okay? I did way too much, and it didn't make sense. So do it kind of like that. If you want to do like a dachshund, you just have to. You probably wanted the line lower to start with, but you wouldn't have to. You could make it shorter legs, and then it would just be like he's walking here, and the dog is kind of pulled back into the picture a little bit. That's why if you made the legs like here, see how we'd have to be. You couldn't be on the same right in front of this guy. You'd have to be up a little bit, but you'd just probably flatten that belly out because all the dachshunds get that, and corgis and stuff like that, right?
Like this, you know, the low hanging.
Okay, and we need the other legs. Let's do the one here. So, you know, it's going to come off the back here, like this, and it's going to be teensy bit shorter, but not very much, because there's not much of a distance from one leg to another, so it's not a lot of perspective in that. But you can do that. In the picture, if you're looking at the picture that I posted, the leg is in the front. But it didn't look right to me, so I didn't put it there. It wasn't really moving. It was weird. I don't know if this is a Pete Rumney picture or not, but that is an artist that if you like to do figures, he does all these great figures. Just Pete Rumney, I believe he's British, and there's lots of stuff that people really, really like, and you might not know it was his, but they're great figures to follow because they're pretty loosely done, so you can feel like you can follow along. All right, so this leg, you're going to imagine that you're going down about as far as the halfway down the front leg that you did here, about that size, and then go back in whichever direction, you know, like however much bend you want to it. Okay? Okay, now if you want your dog to have like a particular colored collar, this would be the time to do it. And, you know, they don't really have much of a neck, so what you can do is right here on the corner here is put a little collar sitting right on there like that. Okay? And a dog's head, I mean, there are some dogs like a pit bull, like a, you know, a big pit bull, Rottweiler. What are other dogs that have huge heads?
Boxer? A bulldog? For their body, they have big heads.
Mm-hmm. But like some are really big, but in general, they're not enormous. And if you're making your dog a cat, they would have really small
If you're
heads.
making your dog a cat, when you walk your cat on a leash.
Some people walk their cats
in
Stranger Things.
in like the bad weather.
So don't think about the snout, don't think about the ear, and all it is a little circle. So just kind of keep it on the small side. If you draw it and something, you're like, wait a minute, something's not right. I don't know what it is, something's not right, but I don't like my dog. Check and see if maybe you made it too small. But if you make it too big, you just have to kind of go around your dog and just add a little bit on and make it bigger to match up. But I'm going around dime size for mine, like this, okay? Now the thing about the snout is they're shorter than you think they are. And if and the bottom of the snout comes right off of the bottom of the circle. Okay? Don't stick it out in the middle like that because it's gonna look like your dog has a beak. Okay? It's gonna come right off the bottom. If you have one like a lab with a kind of a boxy snout, the top line is a little bit longer than the bottom line, so it slants back a little bit. That'll help you. Maybe I'll do it kind of like that. So I make a really short line on the bottom of his face, and make and then go about halfway up the circle, and make it maybe even a little more than halfway up, and then kind of slant it back. Even if your dog is a pointier snout, see, it didn't take hardly anything for that to get big. If your dog is a pointier snout, still start on the bottom. Okay? I think also, I don't know if you can do it when it's live, but if you watch this or go to any of the videos on YouTube, if you have you can control plus, or you can open it up with your fingers, or however way you zoom in. A lot of times you can, and you could make your screen pretty much just showing the picture, and then you can see it a lot easier. You don't have to see it, and if you're doing it like on a TV, it would make a huge difference. It'd be way easier to see. Okay? All right. So the ears, I'm just gonna bring a little like a potato chip, like out there like that. But I won't have two. The other one will be a little shorter. Right? Because, I mean, what makes a dog look like it's having more fun than ears flying in the air? And I'm going to make his tail going right out, too, like that. Alright? And then I want to connect, probably pretty straight, because he's probably pulling that guy along, a pretty straight line to the collar. Okay? I also want something, either shadow, or, you know, if it's wet, it's a reflection. But I want my people to be touching the ground in some way. The other thing I was thinking about doing was a little tiny perspective thing. Where say, this would be an easy thing to do. Say I made a line out here. Is that I could bring a line kind of like this, and then make it skinnier and wider, and it would look like the sidewalk, kind of way in the distance, like that. Would that work?
Yeah, that's nice.
You know. That wasn't probably the best spot to put it, but anyway, okay, so here's the dog again. And maybe this is a little flat on his back. Did you just take the black?
I did.
You know, you may look at his back and just want to bump his butt up just a little bit, around that a little. And then the shoulders sometimes come up a little bit. But the low part is like right in the middle, like a horse has that curve. Okay, and so I'll do it again down here. I'll do a dog with shorter legs, okay? So if I bring it down like this, a little lower, and then I bring this down a little bit, and then I'm going to bring this up like a triangle. Okay? And then I'm going to make, like I said, I'm going to make like a dachshund or something. So I'll make this still has that kind of triangle on the back. Okay? But a shorter little leg like this. You know, and then you can decide how much you need to bring the belly down. Okay? It's got another little leg going off the back. I'll do his little tail right now too. Okay, and then a little front leg. If you make it so that it's not really touching the ground, it also looks like it's kind of all the legs are off the ground. It looks like it's really running and having a great time. Okay, so I got a little short one there, and then I put a little collar and circle. Alright, there's my little circle, my little dog. If I want it to look a little long haired, then I just kind of color right along the bottom like that. Maybe, like I said, round the bum a little bit. And then maybe has longer ears. That line for the snout comes right off the bottom. And then right kind of in the middle here. Maybe even a little higher than middle. A dog doesn't have much forehead. So like from the top of its nose to the top of its head is not a long way. So if it looks funny, think about adding a little bit on the top of that. There we go. I like that one.
Yeah, that's cute.
Okay, so what I was doing was, let me do it again here. So say I put a horizon line up here, and I draw a sidewalk that we're on, and then I'm gonna do it. Let's see. If I had to go off in the distance here, it's wider. So, yeah. So I'll be back with you tomorrow at 1. You can watch the shows anytime you want to on Facebook or on YouTube. And if you want to make a donation, you can go to ValerieWallaceFineArts.com and go to the ticket page, and you can leave a little donation. And that's great, because then I know that you're out there watching. I'll get it. That's good. And I will also, something else,
send you their photos.
Oh, send me your photos. I would love to see your your pictures. That makes me really super happy. And I'm also on Venmo if you want to do that. It's Valerie Wallace. It's at Valerie Wallace 9. Okay.
What are we drawing tomorrow?
I don't know what we're doing tomorrow.
Oh.
It's a surprise.
Okay.
Haven't decided yet. Okay, I'll give you a little close up, and please enjoy and share with your friends and your family or whoever. And there we go. Hey, Arlene. Hey, Sonali. Hey, Amy. Hey, Marcy. Darcy. Marcy and Darcy. How cute. Like that. David. David Miller's becoming, he's going to be up with Matthias and being like most regular watcher. Oh, my cousin Lynn.
Thanks.
Dennis. Marianne, Erica, all kinds of people. Robin, Sue, Gwyneth. Halsey, hey, how are you? I miss you. And you, Eden. See you soon, everybody. Thank you.